It's what we're doing here, and let's not kid about it. We're building a domestic army, and we're shrinking the military because the government is afraid of its own citizens. The last time more than 10 terrorists were in the same place at one time was September 11th, and all these vehicles in the world wouldn't have prevented it, nor would it have helped anybody. So I don't know where we're going to use this many vehicles and this many troops. Concord is just one little cog in the wheel. We're building an army over here, and I can't believe that people aren't seeing it. Is everybody blind?
And they can crush us. I mean, you've got Sheila Jackson Lee, who is calling for martial law. That's insane. That's getting rid of the Constitution of the United States. So we've got a government here that seems to be wanting to create the conditions that they want to take our Second Amendment. You know, they're going for the Second Amendment.
The Air Force today fired the two-star general in charge of its nuclear missiles for undisclosed personal misbehavior and a, quote, loss of trust. This is the second firing of a senior commander of our nuclear forces this week. Major General Michael Carey, removed from command of the 20th Air Force. Carey was responsible for 3 wings of intercontinental ballistic missiles, a total of 450 missiles at 3 bases across the country. A Pentagon official was asked whether Carey's dismissal was alcohol-related. He didn't respond directly, but said Carey is not an alcoholic. Our next guest says there is an unprecedented epidemic of bad judgment and self-indulgence concerning military brass. Joining us is Fox News strategic analyst, Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters. Great to have you with us. Ralph, I mean, this is stunning. First, 3 stars, now 2 stars.
Yeah, and we've had 4 stars essentially relieved, more 2 stars court-martialed, reduced in rank, put out of the Army. And there is a real problem. Now, Lou, you know history, and there have always been problem generals, but not in this density, this number.
Yeah, pretty much at that time, your Second Amendment, all your rights, First Amendment rights, pretty much everything is not at that moment just interrupted. Yeah. So you said that martial law suspends their Second Amendment, so I'm not going to, but would you say we would take weapons from people? Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah. That's what they do, but I'm saying... Yes, I wouldn't agree with that either. I'm I live in the Second Amendment. But okay. Essentially during a moment of martial law, we've lost all control. We're pretty much saying when the military moves in on your street, they are now saying you have no more rights for you're going in second house. That's like the worst case scenario. So I'm saying when the way they're not looking at it, when the guard is used, that's how it's going to be used. Yeah. So we're not going to be out there on the street corner like, hey, unless you're like your assistant with some kind of thing, you're not going to be involved in a riot and not really have any authority.
No, you're not going to go knocking on doors and be like, all right, I need a shotgun. Here. You're not going to like go up to each house and say.
Well, they did that in Katrina, is why I'm asking. And if we're talking about shit hitting the fan, I'm not going to do it. But
they're not going to do that necessarily. It's more or less like, hey, go in your house, shut up, stay there. That's beautiful.
Okay.
Because
the reason they have martial law in place is it's one of those situations where, like I said, everything's already broken down. It's a last resort to change pretty much your last ditch effort to put that in order to do that. That's why they got that. Okay. Good question. I think they did that in Katrina, right? They just want to take 50%. Yeah. Which I think is bullshit, but. You're going to claim your right to take a price. Yeah. We're going to get political right now.
Happening now in downtown Miami, Black Hawk choppers soaring through the night sky, but this is only a drill. My team's Mike Marza has some pictures for us explaining what's going on. Mike?
Still, if you've seen one of these drills, it really is like a scene out of one of those action movies, choppers stalking the sky of downtown Miami and the like. Let me show you what's happening right in the shadow of the Adrian Arch Center. Police right now have blocked off Biscayne Boulevard. If you take a look, swing back over here. This may be involved in this training or not. Again, let me tell you what all of this is that we know of. It's a joint military training exercise involving local police, also military, as someone shot some video of some of these choppers, military-style choppers, flying over 395 in downtown. This was last night. Holy right, so some blank rounds of gunfire pinging off the high-rises here in downtown Miami.
Damn.
You know, part of this is to demonstrate what the city does so that if it happens in real life, people will have some understanding of what's going to happen. So you got to see a bunch of the pieces of capability through this scenario. Not all of them, but a lot of them. This is something we constantly worry about. The threat is always there. You know, what happens in other regions of the world is important, but I think we have enough of a homegrown issue that all of this needs to be practiced continuously.
Sight of Army helicopters and the sound of gunfire created a lot of concern this afternoon in one Houston neighborhood.
She told me don't come home because it sounded like we're in a war zone. Guns shooting and helicopters flying around over the house.
The Army, along with other agencies, had taken over the old Carnegie Vanguard High School. There were armed men in fatigues, plenty of weapons, and what many thought were real live rounds.
I felt like I was in a war zone. It just was nonstop. So I was terrified.
Turns out it was a multi-agency training drill. And an Army major who was out here wouldn't tell us exactly what kind of training they were doing. HPD was aware of what was going on, but the fire department apparently wasn't. In fact, an ambulance was even dispatched this way for a shots fired call until HPD told them. Army major who was out here wouldn't tell us exactly what kind of training they were doing.
Military vehicles, and it said military police with face shields, those baton shields and everything else going down Pump Road Station in Charlotte, North Carolina. I don't know why. They're training for something. Hey, what are you guys training for? For what? Training for a state mission, sir. I hear you. Can you tell me what it's for? Okay.
How are you today, sir?
Good. I just wondered, I'd never seen you guys out here. What you're training for?
Yeah, we out here. What we're doing is we're part of a big National Guard exercise.
Right. But what I get concerned about is when I know that they have FEMA camps building all over the country, which congressmen deny, and then they're caught on tape admitting that they're doing them. They got military training and in some places even doing like illegal checkpoints just to see that. And what I see, the federal government, Homeland Security, buying over 2 billion rounds of ammo ordered just in the last year. And they're building up big-time military for something, and it's not just for natural disasters. I think personally, I think they know because of the derivative meltdown, they're getting ready for an economic collapse and martial law and everything else.
I can't really say on that, you know.
Here, look, you see? This right here is the starting of the New World Order. And as anybody can see, this is private property. You can see right here, this is where the freeway's at. It's about to take in effect pretty soon. Just want to drive by and show you so you can see how they're about to they're training already.